it's like a top 10 duo in the league in terms of assists and field goals made from DQ to Trey so far this year.
What's the question?
Just how much has it?
I know they're really good. They're
how much has it impressed you that without a training camp, without a preseason, that they are that good so far this season?
Yeah, I'm very impressed by it. I really am. I mean, it's impressive. I wish I could say I knew that going into the season. This was going to be the connection, and they'd have this thing down to a science, But yeah, they continue to grow. What's the beauty is they've only just gotten started together. This is not like Murray, Jokic, and Gordon, who've been doing this through, playoff series and finals. They're just getting started doing this. So they got a bright future together, those two, and the beauty in their cerebral game. They talk it out. Some of it's just feel, playing off of one another. But you got two high-level IQ players that are only getting better. They trust each other. And I think we're going to discover even more throughout the rest of the season, what else we can do with them. But they deserve the credit. They're a joy to watch, and it's only going to get better from here.
If y'all are going to have a better outcome than you had the first time against the Nets, where would that have to start?
The physicality. I think overall, just the overall physicality. They beat us up on the board. They beat us up in transition. Just the overall physicality of the game. They dominated that space. They were just more aggressive. They took us out of our stuff. We had a hard time scoring. So they had their hands on us. They dictated play. They were first to hit, and the result spoke for itself.
GB, you touched on it last night, but it's kind of a process in the game situations. Who has the ball, right? Zion, Poole, DQ. So how do you go about the process? Trey, right. Is it whoever's having a good game? Do you rotate through guys go from one game to the next? What is that process for you?
We're living in the moment. We're trying to, obviously we have some base stuff that we're going to, and then we just got to play out of it. You got to go make plays. There's nothing tricky. We could pull up the game right now, and Denver wasn't running anything tricky, and most NBA games, there's no trick play out there. You're putting your best players in position to go make plays. And there's probably 3 to 4 sets in general you're going to. My group certainly can't handle more than that. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible and execute, get the ball in the right players' hands, and now from there, they got to make plays. That's what they get paid to do, and they're beautiful, wonderful players. They do it better than anybody in the world, and they get paid well to do it. And now it's about just closing and making those plays at the end of the game. Some of it's feel on the fly, like who's hot, going at a matchup. What you see a lot in NBA games is they're going at certain matchups defensively, right? They're picking on maybe a weaker defender. That's a theme you'll see throughout closing in the games. That's one of our things, but it's not the only thing we look at. And sometimes I like variety. I'm going off ball versus on ball. DQ's one of those guys that will play through off ball because he can pass. Z's more on ball, and Murph's a little bit of both. So trying to move the chess pieces around, but more than anything, being simple in what we're doing and then just going out and executing and making a play. So I think that's the best thing we can do as coaches, just put them in positions to make plays, put your best players and let them go from there. So I thought we had good looks last night. Obviously, they hit some tough shots. They hit some tough shots, but I thought there was growth overall when you look back from the Orlando defense in the fourth quarter, where we were giving up, offensive rebounds or points in the paint, layups, dunks. They had to make tough shots last night, and they did. You got to shake their hand on those. End of clock. Jamal hits a one-footed with the game tied. Watson hits a spinning drive, tough shot. Pickett made a shot when we took the ball out of Murray's hands. So I think defensively we at least gave ourselves a shot to win last night. There was growth in that area, so I give our guys credit for that.
James, as you watch Derek Queen's growing passing ability for such a young big in this league, what gets you excited about this player?
Well, it just opens up your offense so much. You gotta account for other guys on the floor, and it creates a spirit of unselfishness and creativity on the weak side. When you have someone that can pass like this, there's creativity in it, what guys can do off the ball. It's less predictable. I think it's something the Nets are trying to do, you know, and teams that play off ball, I would say more of like a Jokic type player. You're very unpredictable on how you play off ball with guys like this because, you know, you're just making reads, and it's tough to scout. So it adds another dimension and a layer to our offense, number one, and then it just creates a spirit of unselfishness. You know, when one guy's passing like that, you know, the next guy's willing to pass more. And, you know, what we're trying to do is build a spirit of unselfishness and ball movement. When you have someone that does it at such a high level, it just raises your bar as far as moving the ball and trusting one another. And that's really what he does for us. Good. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.